Well, hello, my beautiful Gemini. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for July 2023. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Gemini, this is your monthly reading for July. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But just to make you aware, this month will be a calmer month in terms of planetary alignments, which gives us all the time to really breathe, slow down, focus on you, your family, your home life, your soul tribe, and really take time to reevaluate your circumstances. Now, July is also a month to detox any part of your life that you feel has become overwhelming or toxic. So for example, if you found yourself a little bit more negative than usual, then you'll really dig a little bit deeper this month to discover the trigger in order to dissect it, dissolve it, so that it no longer has power over you and it changes your energy and your attitude. Also, if you tend to take on a lot more than you need to in your schedule, leaving you feeling burnt out and resentful, then you'll find yourself taking back your power to connect to things that really make you happy and fulfilled. Now, there are always going to be challenges that takes us to the next level of consciousness. We do have Venus and Uranus clashing this month, which will cause an unexpected U-turn when it comes to global events or governmental policy, so watch out for that. Also, in terms of a personal development, you may find yourself reevaluating circumstances, things that perhaps you loved once. You may start to evolve and outgrow them, or you may approach them in a different way. Similarly, if you're in a relationship, you could see some tension in that relationship. Nothing that's going to like break the relationship apart, but there may be a little bit more bickering than usual. Also, you know, there may be a little bit more tension in friendships, family, things like that, just because at the end of the month, that clash really, it's in the sign of Leo, so it can be that sense of like pride, ego, people being a little bit more defensive than usual. Also, it'll make you feel a little bit disconnected, but it won't last long. It actually gives us a positive opportunity to pause, reevaluate, and tweak any plans to make sure that they are perfect before we proceed, but also to really revise the plan if we feel something's not going very well. It gives us an opportunity to really change our circumstances for the better. Now, we do also have a positive aspect, the buck moon. It's a super moon and it occurs on the 3rd of July. It signifies the peak of the year. Very powerful potential for manifestation, abundance, building, and strength. It also opens you up to a new way of living and approaching things or structures, routines that are already set in your life. It is a supermoon, so you will feel it a little bit more than any other energy moon. Change is afoot. Now, it is Cancerian season, so you may be a little bit more sensitive than usual, and you may make some changes by healing things within you in order to free yourself of baggage and the past. But also, this buck moon is in the sign of Capricorn, which actually makes you focus on your finances, on your plan, your greater plan, shall we say, your true life's calling, but also building stability and structure in your life. Now, your first card there is the Devil card, and that is a Capricorn energy. So perhaps you are going to be influenced by the Capricorn energy a little bit more than most this month. Also, Your 8th house is influencing you this month, which is all about transforming your finances, looking at repayment plans, bills, pensions, savings, and spending budgets. You'll be a little bit more discerning about the finances that you spend. Also, your 2nd house of value is influencing you at the middle of the month, and that's really about you checking in with your self-worth, identifying where you give your power away in certain circumstances. I just got to go get that card now in a moment. But also identifying areas where people either underestimate you or in some way undervalue you. This is your chance to break free from anyone who does not see your value in your life. So especially since you got the Emperor card right at the end there, that really signifies you taking back your power or controlling a situation that perhaps has got out of hand or toxic or is not working for you. Could even be that there's some element of fear or worry going on right now, and you're really like sitting on top of it, seeing it from all angles, really reevaluating or contemplating it in order to approach it from a different angle and gain control over the circumstances. Now, I'm just going to go get that card, so one moment, please. Okay, my beautiful Gemini, you also got the Hierophant for your overarching energy. So lots of learning this month. Some of you may feel compelled to put yourself on a course of learning, or you're currently training for something. Some of you may be completing an exam or a certificate in some way this month. And with the Emperor energy, I definitely see that you're in a very powerful position. Some of you may even take some time out to study a little bit more or even upskill in some way to help you elevate in your passions or your goals this month. Now, I'm just going to get your final cards, but the Devil card indicates, I was going to say there's an obsessive energy coming from that Devil card, and your first card is the Magician. So both cards are really cards that indicate some level of control, but also I feel intense focus this month, not wanting to be derailed in any way, shape, or form away from your goal. You also have the Knight of Swords, so that indicates, oh, I love that. You know, they actually gave me horse racing. Okay, I'm just going to go and get literally what I wrote down here. I do a little 10-minute kind of meditation before I start your reading, and I scry in the water at the same time as doing your reading. And the image they showed me there was horses racing, okay? And you have a horse racing right here. Hope you can read my writing there. The sense that I got from it was rapid progression, sense of independence, spontaneity, and new experiences this month, okay? Horses racing. I mean, some of you may even take a trip to the races. I mean, if that's your bag. You know, I'm not here to judge anybody. Sometimes those wonderful horses, they get wounded at those events, so I'm not really a fan myself per se. But I feel this is more about you having a goal in mind and being really productive and taking a lot of action this month and getting stuff done and being valiant in your actions and reaching a level of triumph and success. Your commitment, your dedication, and your drive is something to be celebrated this month. So you may even see lots of images of horses racing this month, which indicates that you're getting closer to your goal. And for some of you, they're showing me like a horse racing or something on a car. So maybe you're buying a car that's got a certain horse race power, or maybe an emblem or a logo. I don't know too much about cars, so perhaps some of you are trying to purchase something like that. So I'll leave it there. It's very precise. But the overarching energy is rapid progression and independence. So some of you may be starting up your own business or entrepreneurship. Looking at this, I definitely see at the end of the month, you are pausing to reflect on something that perhaps has not been working for you or has been trying to control you in some way. Could be a person, could be a situation. I definitely see that you're headed in a different direction. Could even be a new approach to something, a restart. Yeah, revisit. Yeah, I was picking up, that's the Six of Cups, which is a restart or a revisit to something from the past. So there is a potential there for you to come full cycle or circle and do something that you really enjoy doing or love doing. I mean, it could be a hobby that you revisit, or it could be that you're kind of rediscovering parts of yourself that perhaps have lain dormant for a while, or that you've neglected for a while because you've been very strict with yourself. You've had something to focus on. You've been very busy. And I feel now is the time to focus a little bit more on you. Okay, we've got the High Priestess there, and we got the Ten of Swords. Yeah, so something is coming to an end for you. You're walking away from something. Intuitively, you're finding a way to leave something difficult behind. Maybe something that's not working for you. The Devil card indicates a level of feeling stuck in some area of your life. It's not an evil card. It actually represents a feeling of being truly helpless to change your situation right now. And you may be trying to identify what it is that's either worrying you, or something feels like it's trying to control you. I mean, it could be in the broader sense that you're looking at like world events and how they're unfolding and how they play some part in trying to control your emotions, or try to influence you in a certain direction. So I feel on a personal level, though, it's really about you looking at addiction or looking at temptation in some way. It could be to do with food substances. You may be identifying things that perhaps are not so good for you, but they're really tempting and you really like them. You're trying to control your desires in some way, so that you can implement healthier routines or healthier health decisions in some way. So I'm going to pull a quick card with that Devil card there, because I do have the Magician here. And what I'm getting here is that sometimes there's this feeling of not being enough that is either plaguing you or is an undercurrent sometimes, even when you're going up for like a big opportunity, or you're trying to enter into a love relationship. There's this energy here. It's like undercurrent of dissatisfaction. Now, this may be something that comes from childhood, and you may be identifying it this month in order to really cut it out of your life, to try and gain control over it. So I just want to pull a quick card on that Devil card, because there's some aspect where you feel like you're trying to control a situation that's either left you really worried, or feeling like you're stuck in a situation, there's a restriction, or you're concerned about something and you're trying to exert some level of control over it. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, Complete Guide, my beautiful Gemini. What do they need to know? The Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so basically, a lot of you may have been working really hard towards your goals and your projects, and you may feel that there's a lack of fun or new experiences. And Gemini, you are a sign of duality, so you need to experience all that life has to offer. Variety is the spice of life. And I really get a sense here that sometimes when you're really focused on something that you really want to either develop, or you've committed yourself to it, there's a temptation to get bored, or there's a potential to get bored. So some of you may be like looking at your life and seeing how perhaps exciting it used to be, and in the last couple of years you may feel that everything has ground to a halt, or in some way you felt stifled or stagnant. 8 is the number of self, so some of you are actually really looking deeply within you to look at the darker aspects that reside within yourself, those aspects of temptation. They're actually giving me the word temptation in the water right now as well. So you know, whether you're tempted to connect to a person who perhaps is really exciting, passionate to be with, but at the same time you know that they may be negative for you long term, or whether it's a food substance, or even an area or people, there may be something that you're tempted to connect to, but really if you look within yourself, you recognize that it's not good for you. And I feel like you're taking a step away from it, and you're seeking, you know, something more authentic. You're seeking, it's almost like you're going on a journey of discovery, looking within yourself. I mean, 8 of Cups, yeah. 8 of Cups literally means journey of discovery, to walk away from all that you have right now. And I'm not saying that you're walking away from your job, your friends, things like that. I'm not saying that at all. But I feel like you may feel like something's missing. And I feel like you're being drawn inwards to identify what that thing is that feels like it's missing. And you actually have a lot of options here. Also interesting that you've got double 8. Okay, also some of you may have placements in Pisces, because I just did a Pisces reading and they got 0808 as a numerical synchronicity, and you're getting it too in the water, and 88 has come out as well. So if there may be something in that reading for you. If not, give it a wide berth. I'm not saying watch that just for that number, but 0808 tends to be about new beginnings, or a new approach to some area of your life that perhaps you find daunting because you've never done it before. You're coming out of a comfort zone. The Seven of Cups is an energy of feeling a little bit scattered, but having a lot of options. And when we have a lot of options, sometimes we find it hard to choose the one that is right for us. So it's important to visualize every situation. Imagine yourself in that situation and living that experience, and you'll have a certain feeling that comes to mind or comes to your gut instinct, and you'll know instantly whether it's right for you or not. So if you do have to make a choice this month about something, really visualize yourself in each scenario, and then you'll start to get more of a sense of what is right for you. Also, the Seven of Cups, this is really about fantasy and imagination. So if there's something, especially since, this is a time period where we need to be careful about going into our heads and building like an illusion of things that we, think they are or hope things to be. It's important to be really honest with ourselves and say, look, is that person, they may be coming towards me, and for example, like an ex, if someone came back from your past, because we do have a Six of Cups there, if they came back from the past and it didn't work the first time, you got to ask yourself why it didn't work for the first time. And they may be giving a lot of lip service, but if they're not giving action, you may be tempted to hope that perhaps there is a potential for you to heal that situation and be back in a relationship with that person, but the fantasy or the illusion can keep you feeling stuck. Can keep you in a cycle of repeat with a person where they do not offer any effort. So if, for example, you're connecting to someone who is tempting, I see that you're actually walking away from this person for good. Okay, I see that you're ending it. Same with food, substances, or even a toxic work environment or a toxic friendship. If you feel something has run its course in your life and has had control over your life for too long, I definitely see you cutting this out, walking away from it, and opening yourself up to a whole new world of wonderful opportunities to experience. So for example, if it's a food substance, you open yourself up to a whole new world of energy, of being at optimum potential, not having brain fog, really like feeling your optimum best. Your body feels better, your mind feels better. If it's a person, then you're lightening a load. You don't feel attached to that situation, and you free yourself up to meet new people who respect and value who you are. So I really feel it's a positive aspect with that devil energy. Now, also, I am picking up an energy here of you being really obsessive in working towards your goals, but I mentioned earlier that there's a little bit of an undercurrent of you doubting your skill set. You're actually incredibly talented and you don't see it. Other people see it. You're really gifted. You can do anything you turn your hand to. You're wonderfully creative, and something that you've been planning or working towards or inspired to focus on this month, there is a potential to be distracted by your own thoughts of limitation, analysis paralysis, overthinking. If you've got a major project on this month, or you've got something that you, could be a presentation, or it could be even an interview, get really good sleep, okay? Because your sleep patterns could be suffering at the moment if you're not getting good quality sleep. The Nine of Swords indicates some of you may be having either sleepless nights, or you're feeling a little bit concerned or bewildered about your circumstances right now, that you put a lot of effort into something, you're really focused on something, but still it doesn't seem to be moving forward. But in the month of July, things start to take a rapid turn of events where there's a much more positive outcome. Also, with the Emperor energy as one of your final cards, it indicates that you're in a really good position to be very successful in all of your endeavors. And if you're focused on, for example, getting a promotion or a raise, I see that you're working really hard, and I do see that you will achieve that promotion or raise, but they're really asking you to think about your health. Okay, it's like, yes, you are putting all the effort, all the time in, and you're really focused on all of these things, and you may have been under pressure, but at what cost? Your health is most important, so make sure you get rest, because all these cards, the Hangman, the Nine of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Eight of Cups, you got the Eight of Cups twice. It's telling me to take a pause. That's the energy that I'm getting here. Take a pause, or in some way, it's not, it can be change direction, or you are thinking about changing direction in some way and it's worrying you. But what I see here is that intuitively it's going to lead you to where you need to be, and you're going to be so satisfied and happy with the outcome and so successful in whatever changes you're making right now. But optimum sleep is really important. Now, the Nine of Swords also is a very important card when it comes to shifting negative self-talk. Okay, having compassion for yourself. Don't fear all the possibilities and your potential. Some people, and I know it's hard to imagine, but some people fear success, because when you reach a certain level of success, it changes everything, and the pressure is on to continue that level of success. So some of you, with success comes change, and it could be that, for example, if you're making like loads of money, suddenly you need to get really financially savvy. You need to be aware of like taxes and benefits and strategies and planning and things that perhaps you never knew before. If you're running your own business, you may need to know about legalities that perhaps you didn't need to know before. If you're setting something up, it may seem really daunting that there's lots of paperwork and legal documents and processes that you have to go through before you get to where you want to go. Don't let those things put you off, because I see you being successful. I see you overriding the fear, feeling that fear and doing it anyway. You're in command and you're in control. And I definitely see that you're either upscaling this month and you are using your creative skills to focus on your desires and affect change. You will accomplish any goal you set out to do. This is going to be a very important month for moving forward, being very productive, getting stuff done, but have confidence in yourself. Sometimes fear, when you break it down, fear is false evidence appearing as real, okay? Or appearing real. So it's really important for you to recognize that sometimes when you're on the precipice of something incredible, that little voice pops in and says, but what if you fail? But what if you fly? What if you are amazing and you're successful? So something similar came up in the Pisces reading, so that's really interesting. And your next card is the Hangman, which is Pisces energy. Now, this is a resistance position. Some of you may have felt recently that you've been in a period of indecision, or you've been feeling a little bit lost or in limbo, and you may be looking at all the missed opportunities you had. Really interesting. In the Pisces reading as well, there was a rainbow that came through scrying in the water as a sign. So perhaps people who've got Gemini placements will be watching this and see the rainbow there as well. And if you've got Pisces placements, there may be something in that reading for you too. But with the Hangman in this position, it can indicate if you feel like you've missed out on something, what is meant for you will never pass you by. So it only means that there is a pause to recalibrate and bring something better in for you. The universe is replacing it with something more constructive, but also more rewarding. Also, with the Hanged Human, you're being asked to really manage your stress levels, to really not slow down your pace per se, but really manage where you channel your energy. So if there's something you can change, for example, that you're worried about, then change it. But if you cannot change your circumstances and it's worrying you, then surrender to the energy, surrender to the universe, because what is meant to be will be. And no matter how much you worry about it or stress about it, it will happen the way it's meant to happen. So breathe. I always get this sense that sometimes we can care so much about something and it makes our emotions become so intense and to the point where we can't focus on anything else, or it affects us in certain ways. And when you look back, you think, wow, I wasted all that time worrying and there was nothing to worry about. Or you wasted so much time worrying about it and then it happened and you're like, well, I can't do anything about it. So it's really about managing your energy and what's important. With the Hanged Human, the Hangman in this position, it can indicate that you tend to sacrifice a lot of your time and your energy for your goals and your dreams, and you're trying to find a more efficient way, especially with the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords. You're trying to investigate a more efficient way to do something so that you can free up your time, have more time for you, bring in more money. Some of you may be thinking about setting up a second stream of income. Your goal here is security. We've got the Four of Pentacles here. Trying to return to happier times, bring a little bit more enjoyment and spontaneity into your world. And if you feel like your world has been turned upside down in some way, especially since we've got a Knight of Swords here, which can indicate you may feel someone in your immediate circumstances has deliberately tried to derail you or has not supported you, or there has been some sort of difficult person or bad news that has come in before you came to this reading, and right now you're trying to control the circumstances or try to find which way is up. Know that July is a catalyst month for you to bring more success into your life, but also to get a little bit more rest. You are protected. The Four of Swords tells me you're protected and redirected in anything that you endeavor to do. And if it's not meant for you, it won't come to you, or it will pass you by because it's not meant for your journey. But with the Knight of Swords in this position, I feel if there's been a period where you felt a little bit stuck in a rut, you haven't been focusing on your goals, you felt a little bit analysis paralysis, or even a lethargy where you feel it's been hard to connect to things, feel motivated to do things, you're definitely going to pick up pace this month and get more energy, more drive. And I feel things are gathering momentum. You're having the courage to go after your goals and your dreams, and you're unstoppable in this energy. I really feel the Knight of Swords in this position is like you don't have to be too hasty. You know, slow and steady wins a race. And I feel you're going to get to where you need to go. Any goal you start this month, you're going to finish it. There's a lot of, productivity going on. I feel like you're in the flow of doing. But also I get this sense of leadership and responsibility, so focusing on the tasks that need to be done this month. You're going to smash any deadlines out of the park. You're really on track this month and in the flow. Also, in terms of finances, I feel like you're becoming very financially savvy. I do feel this month is a bit more about business for you, about making sure your life runs really smoothly and trying to have a little bit of fun along the way. I know that seems so simple and so like, oh, is that it? But I feel that's really important for you to really make sure that everything is streamlined in your world, that you get a little bit of rest, recharge your batteries, and return to happier times, because I get this feeling of heaviness in your reading that perhaps has been with you for quite some time and you can't shake that feeling that something is missing. But I feel that you are almost going inwards to reconnect to your center, reconnect to your sense of self. And I feel like you're rediscovering parts of yourself which will then lead you back to places, people, situations, hobbies, whatever it is that really make you happy, and you get a sense of fulfillment and wholeness this month. Now, the Page of Swords tells me that you're investigating a new way of doing something or a new approach. Could be a new idea or a new project that you're trying to get off the ground this month. I definitely see that you are deep in thought about it and that you have an incredible mind. You're eager to get going on something, but you may have had to plan it before you start it, and you're paying attention to all the details before you make a calculated leap of faith. I feel like you've been very vigilant on this and you're leaving no stone unturned. Some of you may start an apprenticeship, or you may actually learn new skills in order to implement a new practice. For example, if you're in a 9-to-5 job, on the side you may be learning how to be like a therapist, or learning how to become a counselor, or someone who helps with financial advice. Maybe some of you are doing something creative on the side and you're trying to find the right opportunity to build your creative business, and then it starts to take off and you can kind of let go of the 9-to-5. With the Page of Swords though, I really feel that you are getting some really great news that springs you into action this month and helps you accomplish whatever it is you set out to do and puts you in into a really good position. Now, I hate to deliver this message but it is coming through. This reading's not meant to be about love. If you are looking for love, I feel this month there is a potential to kind of meet someone right at the end of the month. But at the beginning of the month, I feel it's more about your mindfulness. You're really, I mean, you've got a lot of swords in your reading, which tells me you're very cerebral this month. You're really thinking about your plans. You're thinking about your future and what it is you want to accomplish. You may be even thinking about the past, being a bit nostalgic about moments where you feel people undervalued you, or you felt like you gave your power away in a situation, because I feel like it's almost like a journey into the self where you're reestablishing yourself so that you can take on the world after that. But there is a potential, especially since Venus has gone retrograde, or will be going retrograde from the 23rd of July, or it will be retrograde around about that period. You will see exes return. Okay, that is a prime time for people from the past to return. And if there's someone who's toxic here, who kept you waiting, who kept coming in really strong but then kept like backing off, and that is their MO, they keep doing that, this person, I see that they're not emotionally available to give you the love that you desire. Okay, so I see you cutting yourself loose from this situation this month, but they will try their best to sweet talk you, to make you see that they've changed. But what I can see here is that their actions speak louder than words. So watch their actions, okay? Now, we do have the Emperor, which is really about being very strict with your time, making sure that you don't waste time, but also it's a card of having a lot of responsibilities, you know, making sure life runs smoothly, paying your bills, repayment plans, the structures that you already have in place, but you're keeping your eye on the prize. You're being successful. You may be stepping into some leadership role, whether that's at work or whether that's in the community or even in the family unit. It could be sometimes, you know, there needs to be someone who has a level head on them and says, okay, let's make a decision. This is the best for the group. Let's move forward with that. And you're in a very protective mode this month as well. So I feel like you'll be looking at where you house your finances, making sure they're institutions where you house your finances are not linked by license. So should there ever be like an economic fluctuation, that your finances are protected in some way. The Emperor is a card of success, strategy, planning for the future, and wanting to create roots. You're really good at what you do and you command respect. Okay, and if you feel like you haven't been getting that respect, I feel like you're taking yourself elsewhere at this time. There's a real sense of travel in your reading, like you're either relocating or you're rediscovering, or some of you may be, you could be changing jobs or opening yourself up to a new path of adventure and hope. I really get a sense of new beginnings here for you, but it's something that you've been investigating for quite some time. It could even be that you're thinking about writing something about your experiences, but I feel most important this month is that you get some rest. Okay, we got the Four of Swords there, which is really taking some time out for introspection, to really almost like mediate or meditate on the next stage, to really think, find clarity, to take care of yourself. Now, it's really interesting because they're giving me a sense here of it's time to rest your mind and allow peace to take the place of busyness and boredom. Sometimes we can take a rest, but we're too busy thinking about the next thing we got to do, or that we should be doing something else. And it's really important for you to realize that when you need to take a rest, you actually need to take a rest, okay? So if life has been really busy, or, you know, that sense of boredom is kicking in there, they really are asking you to take some quality rest right now so you can get your head straight in order to make some decisions. Some of you also, you may be learning a little bit more about mindfulness and peace of mind, implementing spiritual practices this month. With the Eight of Cups, this is really a big month philosophically on your journey, your true calling. You're seeing beyond the superficial. You're seeking greater authenticity in your life. And you may be looking at the path that you chose, the path that you're on, or maybe you feel that the path that you're on right now perhaps was not something you chose. I really feel like you're looking at that path and you're taking the path that you feel you should walk rather than the one that perhaps you feel like you're on right now. So I feel like you're taking yourself elsewhere, or potentially having a change of direction in some area of your life. Also, what I see here is anything that's negative, you're walking away from it. Now, whether that's a food substance that makes you feel lethargic, low, or you're intolerant to, or a person who promises the world and delivers nothing, or even a toxic work environment that perhaps is very fast-paced, is very pressurized, it may pay really good money, and that may be the thing that you're worried about. You will find something that pays equal amount of money. I feel like financially you're going to be secure, but I feel like you'll find a slower pace environment, or an environment that is more healthy to be in, something where people get along. There's no office politics and no stabbing each other in the back is what I see here, okay? Whoever walks away on the 8 of Cups stumbles upon the 9 of Cups, which is satisfaction, a wish fulfilled, the good life, and, well-being and pleasure. So I really feel you're checking in this month about the direction. Now, the energy of the cards is like you're going back, okay? It's almost like you're going back to the good old days, or you're going back to fun times is what I see here for you, because even your Knight of Swords is heading back, and your 6 of Cups is to revisit or to be nostalgic about something that you really enjoyed doing in the past. It's important not to live in the past. We learn the lessons from the past. It's important to take those lessons with us for the present so that they do not govern our future, and it's really important to remember that. But at the same time, some of you may return to a place of work or re-enter the working environment. Some of you, for example, you may be thinking about retirement, and it's a new stage of life for you, so the pace will be different, and you may worry about boredom, keeping up with doing things that will keep your attention within your budget as well at the same time. So I really feel like you're factoring in a lot of things regarding your true life's path or your purpose right now, and you're learning more about a different pace is what I keep picking up on. Now, the Hierophant is really about spiritual practices, believing in yourself and having faith. But also there could be something that you're working on in silence, okay? Because the Hierophant can connect to secret knowledge, being guided through a journey of discovery, establishing educational structures and traditions. So I feel like you're being guided to where you need to be right now. You're trusting your intuition. And I feel if there's rules and regulations, or you've had people trying to put their expectations upon you, I feel like you're kicking back against that. There's this sense of independence, wanting to do things your way, not other people's way. Some of you also, you're so skilled at what you do, you could teach it as well. And it could be a second stream of income in some way. Even if you're retired, you may not want to re-enter the working environment, but you have a lot of skills in a certain area, and you may decide to either create a course that you put online for people to really tap into that could also financially reward you, or it could be that you are doing something that you love, something creative that you love that can actually generate finances as well. If you're worried about pensions, 401ks, things like that, I definitely see, though, 4 of Pentacles tells me that you're financially secure for the long term, okay? 4 of Pentacles also is about grounding yourself, taking ownership of your circumstances. If there's something that you're not happy with, you're not stuck. Even though the Devil card gives us the illusion of feeling stuck and helpless in our circumstances, you're not stuck. You can change your circumstances. Even one little step in another direction can help your circumstances. I remember many years ago, I always talk about this place, probably because it was such a harrowing experience. I worked at a very toxic environment, and I thought to myself, I can't do this forever. That light just changed. The light keeps changing occasionally, and I'm not sure where that is coming from in the energy. So maybe I'm just imagining it, but yeah, I'll check back on the video to see if the light source just changed. It didn't change physically where I can see the lights that are on the altar right now. But anyway, I'm just going to move on. Now, this place that I worked in many years ago, very toxic, soul destroying. The people were horrendous. They were so unhappy with their own lives that they made sure they made everyone else's life unhappy as well. And there was a lot of office politics. People were rude. It was just horrific, okay? And I kept thinking to myself, I can't do this long term. I cannot do this for the rest of my life, because it will end my life early with stress. I've got to do something about it. And, I really felt stuck, because they paid a lot of money, and, it meant I could look after my family, pay the bills, and I couldn't find anything else at the time. So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to stay here. But what I did decide to do, and I'm so glad I did it, I actually took like a really cheap course online on, something that I was interested in. And it was that first spark of interest. I thought, wow, this is amazing. I love this. And it was something I could do in my free time. And it was really cheap to do, an online course there. And then I started to delve a little bit deeper into it. And I found free courses. I also found like-minded people. Suddenly, the universe opened things up for me. I was starting to meet people in the arena of what I was studying, completely by accident, in my private life. And I was like, this is weird. But the universe was saying, yes, you took that step. You took yourself on that one course. It was a cheap course. I wanted to just learn something new. It was online. And then suddenly the universe started bringing people into my life that was in that arena, and experiences started to show up saying, yes, this is the path. So when you take one step towards something, even the smallest step to change something, the universe actually completely opens things up for you to help you in your circumstances. Now, you've got 444 here as well, which tells me that you're in numerical synchronicity. You're changing your circumstances for the better. So I do feel the changes you're making will bring long-term security, but also I feel most importantly, you're returning to better times. The end of difficulty is here for you. So I definitely see anything that you've been working on long term. If it's been difficult, you've been struggling with it, there's a change in your circumstances and it gets easier for you. The Six of Cups at grassroots tends to mean the universe steps in to offer you a gift or a surprise, a reward for all the effort that you've been given. Also, the Six of Cups, most importantly, is peace. Okay, some of you may be also tapping into your childhood memories to locate or identify a trigger that perhaps has kept you stuck in some way or has been influencing the way that you operate in love or in business or in your friendships. If, for example, you tended to have very strict parents who were very detached in some way, it may have influenced the way that you connect to people and friendships long term. So you may be identifying things on a personal level that you can release the baggage from the past in order to build new happy memories and connect to people on a deeper level, because I feel like you're searching for something, and I feel July is the catalyst for that search, where you then go on to discover what it is that you're looking for. Okay. Also, Six of Cups is it's kind of like the reality is right now that there is something better on the horizon for you. The universe is lining things up in a really healthy and exciting way for you. So there's no real point to revisit the past unless it is to learn from it, okay? Also, there may be a friend that either you used to work with or someone that you used to go to college with. They may reach out to you this month. They may tell you that they are like going on a big like sabbatical or a journey. Okay, they're taking some time out of life and they started contemplating their life and they keep remembering you. So they've reached out to you to reconnect. And this is going to be a wonderful experience. Both of you are spiritually aligned. And I feel this person also has some advice to impart with you, which will help you immeasurably in your personal life. Okay, we do have the High Priestess. So this is really about working hard in silence or connecting to enlightenment. If you are working on a project, you're keeping it to yourself. You're listening to your own advice, your own feelings, your own intuition, and you're being guided to where you need to be. This month, yes, there is action. Yes, you are going to be completing your tasks, but I feel this month for you is, again, more cerebral, where you're thinking about the next steps, almost rationalizing where you've been, the choices you made, and how it's going to inform your future. Because I do feel like you have a choice to make. And if you have been feeling stuck, I feel like you're coming out of that rut in order to find more satisfaction and fulfillment in life in general. Also, you're going to be connecting to your spiritual practices, meditation, maybe even picking up yoga classes or doing something that really helps channel your excess energy in a healthy way, rather than, allow it to be drawn to the quick fix, whether that's food, substances, people, situations. You get it. I mentioned it earlier. The Ten of Swords is a very important card because it can mean the end of something, because there's been a point of epiphany where suddenly you've woken up and said, you know what, I can't stay in this situation for much longer because it's not good for me. So I really feel this is the point of change, where you're ending something big in your life, but you're also responding differently to challenging situations. I feel something better is about to appear for you, and you're just trying to get ready for it. You can feel it. You can feel on the horizon that your energy is changing and something wonderful is coming in. And therefore, it's almost like you're getting organized or getting all your ducks in a row to make sure that you're ready for all the good stuff that's coming, because you don't want to sabotage it. Now, also, swords, it is about communication. Swords are about ideas as well. So I feel if you've had a creative block recently, you're going to have more clarity this month, and a lot more wonderful ideas are going to be flooding in to help you advance on your path. Also, if you feel someone stabbed you in the back, or there was some sort of painful ending that you're healing from, take the time you need to heal from that experience. They have no power over your future, okay? Even if, and I'm picking up on an energy, this is very precise, okay? So I want whoever this is for, it's a very important message, okay? And it's only about 18% energy that's coming through. But if you're in a career where your reputation, of course, is important, and if someone in a position of power is trying to abuse their power and tells you that they have the power to destroy your career, or they have the power in some way to derail you or stop you from being successful, that is not true. This person has no power over your future. Okay, only you have power over your future. I just want you to be aware of that. I feel like that cycle of dominance is coming to an end anyway. But moving back to the main energy I've got for the collective Gemini out there. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Something huge is ending for you this month, and you're in control of it. They'll give me the word closure as well. So a lot of healing, closure, and it sets you free. Okay, so I feel this is a month to set you free. Eight of Wands. You're moving on, elevation. There's really good news. Things are picking up pace for you. Things are also reaching a climax. And I mean, financially, there's a lot of reward here. Some of you may physically be moving a home space as well, and you may have been under a lot of pressure recently, hoping it goes really well. It will go really well, okay? So don't worry about that. There's nothing to worry about. I really feel my beautiful Geminis out there are perhaps doing something that they've not done before and really owning it. And I feel that you're going to be in a very powerful position. Eight of Wands, great news coming your way. Also, I definitely see that you're going to be in the flow of doing this month. Things will pick up pace in some areas, but it is important to try and not go too fast. There will be a time and a place to feel energized and moving forward. When you get this card, I just got from my guides, your future self will thank you for this month. So whatever changes you are making, even if you're taking a vacation or you're taking a quick break somewhere, it gives you an opportunity to think and to reevaluate your circumstances. The Ten of Pentacles, you're attracting a lot of abundance at this time. Financially, there is more reward coming on in for you. But at the same time, it's your sense of effort. The effort that you're putting in is paying off. The Ten of Pentacles is really about thinking about the legacy that you leave. So I really feel you're thinking about the bigger picture this month, and they're showing me a set of blueprints now in the water. So it's almost like you're in planning stages, you're in planning mode. So you're going to pause a little bit just to plan and then strategize and then move forward after that. Now, they're giving me a song, so I'm just going to check in with that song. It's so random. One moment, please. And the days go by like a strand in the wind, in the web that I, oh, okay. It went too fast and muffled. I didn't quite catch that bit. I'm just gonna have to wait for it to come back around again. I'm so sorry. Maybe fast forward this bit because I can't rush it. I have to wait for it to come back around. Okay. In the web that is my own, I begin again. Just like the white-winged dove. Oh, now I realize what that song is. Okay, I get it now. That song is definitely the Edge of 17 by Stevie Nicks. It's definitely Stevie Nicks for sure. Now that song, Edge of 17. So maybe you're returning to like a goal that you had when you were 17, or something that you always wanted to do, or you were curious about doing when you were younger. I mean, the lyrics say about beginning again, so maybe you're taking a new direction in some way, or changing direction, or thinking about changing direction, going into a transitional phase. That song is relevant because you may hear it in the next month or so, and it indicates major change, but also affluence. Money coming in, okay? Financial security, wealth, and your knowledge being the key to your success. They also just gave me, you'll achieve mastery. Now, I'm just going to pull one more card before I close. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. You know, I wish I could actually, like, pull it out of the hat and say, oh, you know, everything's going to be amazing. This is going to happen on this date. That's going to happen on that date. But what I see in your reading, it's more like cerebral, like lots of thoughts this month, okay? We've got the Tower and we got the Eight of Pentacles. Now, this really indicates you're working really hard, okay? You're in a repetitive cycle routine. You're feeling stuck. The Tower is to liberate yourself out of going round and round in circles and taking a leap of faith to do something different, come out of your comfort zone, okay? Yes, you're committed to your goals and your dreams. Yes, you're dedicated, and yes, you're in a period of self-development. But if you're feeling bored and stuck and stifled and not fulfilled, something needs to change. And I definitely see that July is the month to liberate yourself from that. The crown chakra is there to represent, you know what needs to change. Okay, you can be in control of those changes. I do feel that this month is a bit of an upheaval or an overhaul of your life in some way, and it's going to be a very positive experience long term. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Gemini? What do they need to know? Wonderfully, they're actually showing me a sign in the water right now, which is do walk on the grass, as opposed to do not walk on the grass. They're showing me a sign that says do walk on the grass. So I feel like you're being encouraged by nature to reconnect with nature, maybe even go out into a park if you don't have a garden, or into your garden if you're lucky enough to have one, and take off your shoes, take off your socks. Really feel the grass in between your toes, that cold, nice feeling of grass on your feet. You're reconnecting and grounding yourself with the earth. It's interesting because in the Pisces reading, they showed me the Eiffel Tower, and they're actually giving me the tower for your reading as well. So it's somehow interconnected. I'm not sure how, but it is. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Gemini? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? They also show me a 4-leaf clover. You've got loads of images and signs coming through. 4-leaf clover is, you know, better luck, opportunity, and it may even be a symbol or a logo that you'll see, or even a significant image that you'll see that's connected to you in some way. You may have even been asking for a sign and saying, please universe, I'll know that this sign is for me if you show me a 4-leaf clover. Whatever it is, the 4-leaf clover indicates better luck is here for you. Now we have gold. And it says solid finances, investing, integrity, deep values, banking, long-term position, satisfying work. Okay, so I mentioned there that you're going to be looking at where you how's your finances in institutions, making sure that your money works for you and is safe long term. Also, you're desiring satisfying projects or work. It says Tower, earning power, building, a business, sound decision, corporate job, power, unstable position. So it can mean that in some arenas, the corporate environment is crumbling, and perhaps you're finding more stable positions in doing something that you love long term. And this could even be online. And we've also got butterfly, sudden changes, frivolous spending, short-term loans, arts, movement, temporary jobs, and fun work. So you're bringing more spontaneity and fun into your life. And if you've been feeling a little bit lost recently or in limbo, I definitely see July as being the month where you rediscover parts of yourself and discover the answers as well. Now, we've got lone wolf. Okay, so if you're thinking about setting up an entrepreneurial ship, becoming your own boss, this is a prime month to do it. It says here, striking out on your own, ambition, job hunting, work is play. That's an interesting one. Wildcraft, conquering fear. So I definitely see that. That even showed up at the beginning of your reading. We've got service. So this is really about keeping your life running really smoothly. And rewards for all your hard work, thriving in community, similar goals, doing your part, benefits for all, and the sweet life. So you're working really hard and you are building something that will be very rewarding long term. Confidence, walk your talk. Bold action, happy at work, meaningful reach. Sorry, meaningful rich, not reach, but I think meaningful reach is also important, but rich and outgoing. So I definitely get a sense here that you're searching for happiness in all that you do. And I mean, why wouldn't you? But I feel it's something that's really on your mind this month, okay? I'm just going to go and get a trinket before we close. We have the butterfly, okay? So butterflies are definitely relevant for you. A cycle of change. And I always say that, you know, the caterpillar goes into the chrysalis and it completely dissolves its form. It doesn't just go for a nap and wake up a butterfly. It actually dissolves its sense of form and self so that it can be rebuilt in some way. And if you've been feeling lost or in limbo, I definitely see that July is a big month for you to rediscover parts of yourself and really start to formulate a plan, elevate and fly. You're becoming, okay? And also we've got musical notes. So I guess in a way, this month for you is really about fine-tuning, really tapping in to elevating, to changing your vibrations, and, you know, bringing a little bit more creativity into your world as well. Music will help you with anxiety, is what they gave me. Music will help you with anxiety. And also listen out for that song. You may hear it in the mall. You may hear it as you're walking down the sidewalk and someone's playing it in a car. It tells you that there is some really happy news on its way. And the majority of that news is actually financial, is what they're showing me. Of course, finances are important. We pay the bills with finances. It gives us a sense of security and stability. It's not the be all and end all. I really feel right now you're in a period of recognizing that not everything that glitters is gold, but I feel there's some awesome news coming your way that will really help you build whatever it is that you're trying to build, your empire in some way, okay? And you're embracing a new beginning. So I'll leave it there. I hope something does resonate for you, my beautiful Gemini. If it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Gemini. Love and light.